This is KCR, the sound of state.
Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hey, what's up, humans? Welcome to Scarlett Show, Season 4, Episode 11. Wow. It's almost that time where the season's over. We only have one more show left. And also, sorry for everyone that is trying to watch the live stream right now. I can't connect for some reason, but we'll try to get it on for the longer interview. For now, let me tell you all really quickly about my weekend. So Saturday, I went to check out the Wheel of Bass presented by United by Bass, and it was epic. They had multiple genres, art, vendors, food, fire spinners. They always make me fall in love. There's something about them fire spinners. I'm like, damn, I want to do that. And that was all about the inside bass stage. The production was pretty sick, and I could tell they really put in the effort to deliver a quality show. I honestly haven't danced that hard to drum and bass in a while. So I think we just really need more bass shows in San Diego. And Sunday, I went to a beautiful day presented by the Stay Bad fam. The event was held at Cesar Chavez Park, and it was an awesome location. They also had art, vendors, food, a trampoline, and an area full of pillows and tapestries for you to sit on. And I was straight up chilling on those pillows, trying to relax after going hard the night before, you feel me? So it was truly a beautiful experience, and I felt like a family gathering. So if you haven't checked out those events before, you better go next year. You gotta wait another year, but it's totally fine. And now, let me introduce my guest of the night, and his name is Ramin. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You just had a birthday yesterday.
I
Happy
did.
belated. How did you do anything fun to celebrate?
Actually, hold on 1 second. My headphones. There we go. Oh, this is weird. Sorry.
It's cool.
I can just hear myself talking right now. No, I went to Ballast Point in Miramar with a few friends and just kept it simple. I did last year. I did like a family thing, so I wanted to change it up this year.
Oh, cool. Just like something more intimate.
Yeah. Hang out with my friends and just lay low, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention how it's so cool that you're also a fellow Aztec. You graduated a few years ago.
Yes.
With a bachelor's in food and nutrition.
Yes.
No wonder you're so fit. It all makes sense. And so you're actually using your degree because you're a quality control scientist.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so cool. You're
Yeah.
like scientist by day and like DJ by night.
Yeah, scientist, or what is it? Scientist by day, warehouse dweller by night.
I love that. And like, what is it that drew you to that field? That like, I'm curious because it's like totally not related to like the DJing.
Well, I was like I love food, so I kind of just went towards that route. But it was also I took a lot of science courses as well, and both of my parents are scientists too. So I kind of like I could have kept going, but I just wanted to graduate. I had to do 2 more years if I wanted to become like a dietitian.
Yeah,
it's like super competitive, so I just went towards the science route, and yeah.
Yeah. So you love food. What's your favorite food? It's like that's the toughest question of the interview.
No,
so far.
the thing is, like, if we're talking about like certain foods, like, are we speaking Italian? Are we speaking like Chinese or like Asian food?
No,
or
like your favorite.
Geez, that's so hard. Oh my gosh.
If you like it all.
I actually had like a really good brisket the other night. We did like a thing like a Friendsgiving.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, so I would say like, I don't know, brisket.
Okay, brisket.
Yeah.
You got it. You heard it. Now we know. So, how did you first get exposed to electronic music?
Oh gosh. I was always into music throughout like middle school and high school. I actually used to listen to like punk rock and like hardcore and just like Black Flag, Minor Threat kind of stuff. And then I kind of like went into like reggae for a bit, and then slowly got into like electronic music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I actually used to spin dubstep and drum and bass when I first started DJing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And there's a crew called out here called Organized Grime in San Diego.
Oh, yeah, they have their Mondays event.
Yeah, AC Lounge. And so I used to do that for like a year or two. And then somehow one of my friends was like, "Hey, let's go to a camping festival." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's like an hour from my house.
You're like, okay, whatever, I'll go.
Yeah, it's like an hour from my house. I'm like, "Yeah, I'd never been. Let's go." So I live in Escondido, so it's like an hour from Esco, and it was a Desert Hearts Festival. It was my first one, 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, November 2015, I think, or November 2014. I forgot which one, but one of those, and it just like blew my mind. It was wild. And then from there, I came back, and I was like, oh, where's more house and techno? And then Love Life and Music's for Lovers had been doing it for a bit. Then I think it was like they were probably 2 or 3 years into it, and then I got exposed to like that whole scene, and it just like I found a new perspective for like house and techno.
It changed your mind.
Yeah, no, it blew my mind. Yeah,
like,
it was wild.
It was wild.
It was wild,
I love
yeah.
that. By the way, I was able to get the live stream going. So yay. Hello everyone. If you missed the first part, like it's gonna be all on YouTube eventually, so don't you worry, people. And okay, so how did you start getting involved like in the industry, like actually working?
So after going to like Desert Hearts, Love Life, Music's for Lovers, all those events, I'm like, how can I like contribute to the scene? I want to be a part of it. So I had like a bunch of friends that I had met through the scene as well that were DJs. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do like a mix series, like a podcast. And so I started doing that, and it kind of just gained traction. And then I wanted to start throwing parties, and my man Jimbo was like, hey, like I need some advice. I want to like throw parties. Like, yeah, like come to LA and like let's meet up. I'm like, all right, cool. I ended up going up there, and like we didn't really talk about like throwing parties. It was more of like, let's sponsor your podcast. And they like do like a really big blog, like it's a like huge thing like all around the world, like South America, like Europe, Asia. Like we have all these artists that do mixes for us. And then I was like, yeah, I'm just doing this for fun. So they kind of sponsored my podcast. They helped me out. They like helped me book a few artists, and then from there I got like traction to like agents, like all those things. And
That's so cool.
yeah,
I actually want to touch more onto your podcast in the second part of the interview, but for now, I want to know, what was your very first DJ gig?
I think it was at Basement, like when Basement first opened.
Oh, nice.
And I was playing like a side room, and I
Okay.
think it was with the Organized Grime kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I was like, that's when I was getting into like house music too. I asked him like, hey, is it fine if I play like some house? And, like,
Is it okay? Like, no.
like
It is Basement.
It was that time it was like night bass, and it was getting like super popular. So I did have like organize like some like house influences with like some dubby stuff in the background. So it kind of worked out.
So how would you describe your current sound in 3 words?
Oh my gosh, you're asking the hardest questions right now.
Oh, this is not even the beginning of the hard questions. You better prepare yourself.
Sexy,
Ooh.
smooth,
Mm-hmm.
clean.
Oh, we got your girlfriend right here. Can you agree with all those? Yeah. Okay, she agrees.
Can I add another word in?
Yeah.
Minimal.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So, what can we expect in the first half of the mix?
Basically what I just
Oh, I just
described.
said?
No, yeah,
Okay.
that I made that today. I was like, you said 20 minutes. So I was like, all right, let's do like a short, like 25.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of picks up towards the end, and then yeah, it should be nice.
Okay. I think I'm excited to hear this sexy, minimal, clean. What was the other word?
Fresh? Did I say fresh? I don't even remember.
I don't even know. We're gonna have to watch it. We're gonna have to watch the
Just-
interview again.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this mix, and we'll be back in 10 minutes to continue the interview. So don't go anywhere. And you're listening to KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of states. Yeah, I'm vibing with this mix.
Like it?
No, yeah, loving it. Thank you so much. What's
Yeah.
up, people? Welcome back. I gotta do some announcements before the interview. So, are you a fan of podcasts? Make sure to tune in on KCR On Demand, the newest platform of entertainment from your radio host here at SDSU. Find us on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud or KCR College Radio. Also, do you have any plans this weekend? Check out the House of Blues in downtown San Diego for some amazing concerts in one beautiful venue. Make sure to check out our giveaways on kcrlive.com for a chance to win tickets to concerts throughout the semester, and stop by Music at the Mesa from 12 to 1 on Thursdays for more giveaway opportunities. Oh, and lastly, I want to give a shout out to the SC Voyager magazine for featuring me on the Trailblazers. How do you say?
Trailblazers.
Trailblazers.
Yeah, I can't even
Sorry,
say
my
it either,
Mexican,
dude.
my Mexican came out right now.
Yeah, dude. I grew up with my parents speaking Farsi, so.
Oh yeah, Spanish is my first language, so sometimes I'm like, wait, how do I say something? But all right, Trailblazers.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I should have rehearsed this before talking on the radio. Rewriting the narrative series. It makes my heart full knowing that this show is making an impact, and I feel so honored to be considered one of San Diego's inspiring women. That's big. So thank you so much for the KCR team and the magazine and everyone else for your love and support. Like, it really means a lot. And I posted the link on my interview in my socials, so go check it out and let me know what you think. I wrote a lot, y'all. Like, I really poured my heart into that interview, so go check it out. And now I'm back with Ramin.
Yes.
So, okay, the name just fit perfectly.
Ramin.
And then ramen. Like, you made that like your profile picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you love ramen, Ramin?
It was just like a thing kind of growing up. People always like pronounce my name wrong. So it was just like, just a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like yesterday, one of my friends brought me for my birthday top ramen. Literally just packaged it in one of the
nice.
gifts. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So I'd like to know about the origins of your West Coast podcast. First, tell me what it's all about, and then what inspired you to create it.
So it just, like how we talked about earlier, is just like how I wanted to like share with everyone that like people haven't experienced.
Yeah.
And the music's just amazing. People are like always listening to the radio or just some stuff that doesn't intrigue me at all. And you want to share something that's like something new, that's like danceable, but like nothing crazy. Like it's not blaring at you like certain like other types of music. But yeah, I just wanted to just get into the scene and like help out and share like good music.
So, but what was the moment when you decided that you wanted to create this podcast?
I was actually like like how I started it. Like I was literally just sitting in my room, like it's like just like browsing SoundCloud. I'm like, there's a bunch of podcasts, and I'm like, okay, like these are cool. Like, all right, these are cool, but that artist that I'm looking for isn't there. And so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna reach out to that artist and just start my own, and then just go from there. But for that to happen, was I had to like hit up the locals first. That was the whole part of the podcast, was like have one local and then have one international artist. By the time like I didn't have that reach to like hit up like a big name artist and be like, hey, can you do a mix for me? That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you have to like you gotta build it up. Yeah. So I did that. My first person was like Rybo, and then a couple of Desert Hearts guys, and then from there it started gaining traction, and then I could start hitting up artists. My first big artist I think was like Dennis Cruz, and people were like, oh, how'd you get him? I literally just hit him up on SoundCloud like through like direct messages.
Really?
And
just like that?
Yeah, and he was like, hey, hey, I'm down. Just here's my agent's email. Like, just we'll set it up. And like from
awesome.
there, and then like it did really well, and then it's kind of snowballed from there on out. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's just so many music podcasts out there.
There's a lot. There's nowadays there's a ton. Yeah, but back then there wasn't that many, to be honest.
Yeah. So you think that maybe attributed to your success because you were kind of like one of the first ones?
I wouldn't say I was one of the first ones, but it was like
here in
It was the early stages for
the
sure.
early stages?
And like sound at the time, SoundCloud was doing really well. Had a really big audience. Nowadays, it's kind of like with the whole copyright thing, it's kind of like dimmed down a little bit. People moved to Spotify and like other things to stream music. But I'm not giving up. I'm just gonna keep doing it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what is it that makes yours special? Like, why should we listen to West Coast podcast?
It has various types of artists. Like there's a whole thing about like, oh, people are just playing like one subgenre of like house music, where like I kind of go into like, all right, we're gonna go to techno, or we're gonna go to disco, we're gonna go to like, I don't even know, past techno, where it's like almost like heavy stuff, like we're in like the 150 range, and then yeah, just like minimal, like Romanian style, like there's like so many subgenres of like house and techno
yeah.
that I had to have it all there.
Do you have a favorite genre or subgenre?
I mean, I like everything. Like it's hard. I play everything too, so I try not to stick to like one genre of like music. So I mean, right now I'm like what we were playing earlier is like more of like the minimal kind of house,
Yeah.
which is like I don't know, a lot of those artists are from like the UK and stuff like that. So
That's really cool.
Romanian kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Have you been to any of those places?
No, I want to though. I want
So
to.
you can get more inspiration. huh?
Yeah, it's just the whole with work right now. I have like a corporate job, so it's just kind of hard to do all that stuff.
I feel it.
Yeah.
So what is your ultimate goal with this brand?
Well, now it's more of like I'm being sponsored by Musics for Lovers, them showcasing it on their blog. So it's just like we have a party brand too called Love Life, and then we do parties with Musics for Lovers, but that's more. We don't really do them too often anymore, but that's just like blog work now. And then we have like, all right, party stuff like Love Life. So that's kind of on like, I'm just here like helping out and like, what can I do to like make this better? You know, like I don't own it. Like I don't own like Love Life or Music for Lovers. I own my own podcast, which
Yeah.
they sponsor and they put out, which I thank you, Jimbo and John, for helping me out.
So would you like to eventually have your own brand of events?
I mean, that's a hard question. Maybe in the future, but right
Kinda
now,
branch out, do your own thing.
yeah, like maybe if I didn't have like a full-time job, then that would be a possibility. But right now, it's just I'm really content, and it does its job right now. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm
Yeah.
happy with where I'm at
Yeah.
with the podcast, at least. Yeah.
So what are some of the key elements for making a podcast grow in your opinion? Like what has worked for you and what hasn't?
Well, it kind of depends. Like when I first started it, I would say like the first like 30 episodes did like 35, maybe up to 40 episodes. We just hit 100 like last month.
Nice.
But I said like the first 30 or 40 episodes did really well. And that was based on because of SoundCloud, like the audience, there was a lot more people that use SoundCloud, and then there's like a whole copyright thing, and they lost like a lot. So, what was the question again?
It was like what are some of the key elements?
Oh, some of the key elements.
Making a podcast.
So
grow?
yeah, so it kind of just depends on like what platform you're using and all that. So, but then it also depends on like how much you're gonna promote it and all that stuff as well.
Okay.
So like I would say like socials is a really big thing. Like back then I didn't really promote it at all.
Oh, really? You were
Yeah.
just kind of doing it for
Like I
fun?
would just post it like on my like Facebook.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have like Musics for Lovers really at the time.
Yeah.
I think they came in around like 15 episodes or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing right now. Kind of just doing it for fun and see
Yeah,
what's
like
up.
you can like well now you like I saw like your shares and it was like 9 shares and I'm like "Ooh, wait 9 people shared this already and it was just you but you had like shared it with like different groups.
Yeah.
Like now there's like groups on Facebook. Like back then I don't think there was groups and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, and a lot of the traction also comes from that, like groups and just all the people that you never know who's watching. Like it's funny when you see it from like the business page, like when you get like the statistics, like it reached like 1,000 people.
Oh my
but
God.
They don't like really do anything about it.
There's like stuff on like on SoundCloud you get the same like analytics and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then I think there was like one time I don't know, I had Lee K. Have you ever heard of Lee K?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like one of the San Diego like tech house DJs out here doing really well. I think she plays for Crossed and I think she did a mix for me and then I looked at the statistics and
I rubbed it onto you.
like Richie Houghton was like one of the plays, or like Joseph Capriati, like someone from like Enter or something, like one of the labels, like listened to it, and I was like, holy crap, like they just listened to like one of my mixes on here. So like it's pretty cool seeing all that data and stuff like that.
No, yeah, no, it really is, because you never know who's watching, or
Right?
who's
Yeah.
noticing you. So, what are some of the challenges that you face in your journey in the music industry? It can be with like DJing or your podcast or in general.
Well, with the podcast, like you always want to have like, it's like the whole like number game. Like you want to have like likes and like stuff like that. But it's like I'm not gonna go out of my way and like go buy likes. Like it's not
Yeah,
organic.
no,
It's
not
no,
organic.
that's like the worst thing you could do. But once like the whole like SoundCloud like copyright thing came into play and like I saw like less plays, I'm like I kind of just accepted the fact that like this is how it is. Like I could have stopped at like episode 50 or 60 or something like that, but I was like whatever, I'm just gonna keep doing it. Like this is for fun. Like I'm not making money. It's like SoundCloud's not monetized. It's not like YouTube. You get
Yeah.
like like a certain amount like per play or something like that. So it never was like about the money. So like it doesn't, the like stats don't really bother me or like affect me really.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's like kind of on the downside, which is like the whole audience thing.
And what about the DJing part?
Well, that's a whole different conversation, but like I don't know, like trying to follow up on like another DJ, like trying to like keep the same vibe going, or like
Yeah.
the same drive, you know. So that's like sometimes tricky, or like trying to open up. I know a lot of people have like trouble like opening up. I love opening up. That's like it's just it comes natural for me to like open up.
I think it's kind of like an ego thing too, right?
What do you
Like
mean?
open up, like what do you mean? Like
Open up the like you're the first DJ on.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, like you're
Like,
the first DJ on.
Yeah,
people,
like open in a
open
set,
up. Yeah, open up the set. Like open up the party or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
some people are like, I don't want to be the opener or
they
whatever.
want to play peak time or something.
Yeah.
Like dude, playing those are actually harder to do. I in my opinion, like those are like you have to bring the right vibe. Like you can't even play when you're playing peak time. You can't just play banger like every track. Like it doesn't work like that. So even and I played closing. I played right after DJ3. It was this last year Halloween, and at first it was kind of tricky. I'm like, this is kind of weird because I never really close. I kind of play like opening slots usually, or like maybe peak time, like right before peak time slot. And those are like I don't know. I think I got used to it doing that.
Do you feel more comfortable?
Yeah,
with that?
but once I like after like 2 or 3 tracks, I'm like, all right, I got this, and just kind of flowed, and I did really well. I liked it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So how long have you been DJing for now?
I think around, let's see, I started like it's like my senior year of high school, but when I started like actually like using decks like legit like 2000s and stuff like that was probably 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, 2013.
And
I think.
what do you
Yeah.
think is something valuable that you've learned since you started out as a DJ to now?
Just practice. Just literally just practice. I used to like I had virtual DJ on my computer
Yeah, me too.
on my computer during high school, and I was like playing around with it, and then I'm like, okay, this is the only way I'm gonna practice. Like I didn't have a job. I was in high school. I didn't really work that much. I started working when I was like in college, but at the time I was just like playing on my computer, and then once I started going to college, and then I started getting more immersed, going to the shows and stuff like that, and I got a gig. And they're like, all right, here's your gig. Like, here you go. I don't have decks. I don't have $5,000 to spend on CD DJs.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like pictured it in my head. I'm like, all right, this is just like the 3 cues and then your deck and your other deck. So I kind of just like visualized it and kind of just went off there. And that's how I
Yeah.
practice. Like till this day, I still practice.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, like I'm still practicing.
Practice makes better.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never like reach perfection. You just gotta keep improving.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now I want to go on a topic that maybe could be a little heavy, but I think it's necessary to talk about it because so we can inspire other people, right?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about your experience of being a minority in an industry that's mostly dominated by white folks.
Yeah.
We're pretty fortunate to live in California, but unfortunately, like racism and prejudice, it's still alive.
Mhm.
And I want to know if you've personally experienced any type of discrimination, or have you been heavily supported in your music journey?
Definitely heavily supported.
That's great.
I think it's due to like our scene. There's not really like if someone throws some shade on you, it's literally you're screwed. Like you're gonna be known that you like messed up.
Yeah.
You know. So, but there's like nothing that's like stands out to me. That I'm like trying to think of like something negatively like
Yeah.
some racist remark or something. Like I've
something.
never had that problem
That's
in this
great.
scene. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's like a big plus for San Diego.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on the representation of people of color, or maybe people in your specific ethnicity in the industry?
Wait, what was the question?
Like,
Sorry.
what are your thoughts on the representation of people of color or people of your ethnicity?
I think it's amazing. I think everyone should do it. I think everyone should like whatever music you're playing, whether it's like DJing or like you're playing an instrument or something. Like it doesn't matter about like color or whatever sexual orientation you are. Like none of that matters. Like you do you, you know. And if you're killing it, like keep going. Like
Just do you.
yeah, exactly.
So I feel like music festivals, like the lineups and the audience, are far more diverse now than 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But still in those like executive positions, from like the record labels to management to like the sponsors, are generally white. Why do you think there aren't enough minorities in these positions? Like what
That's a very good question. I haven't noticed that really actually. Like thinking about like, oh, this
Like
person's
behind the
this color,
scenes?
like yeah, the behind the scenes kind of thing. I don't know.
Like why do you think maybe are some barriers, or like why?
I think it's just due to the maybe certain places we live. Maybe like in Detroit, like it's all very colored. Like there's different types of people. Like so that's kind of like a norm for like over there. Like here, I don't know. That's a difficult one. Maybe it's I couldn't tell you to be honest. I don't know.
It's okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
something to think about. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
I think it
like-
just depends on like where you live. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's because I mean, it's America. It's run by white males. Like
Yeah,
the majority of.
But still, it's
big
not even like
industries.
yeah, that's true. But like even then, like you go to like certain other places around like the Midwest, it's like really colored over there. So like it's gonna be different. Like you're gonna have like different people growing up, like throwing parties and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
But maybe like the big festivals, for example.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, what do you think we should be doing also as minorities to like kind of break those barriers? Like, how do we do it?
like I said earlier, I mean, if you're like into the music, it doesn't matter what color you are. Like you just do you. And I don't think that maybe definitely there is, but people like the kind of like, oh, you can't do this because you're this person, like you're from this place or whatever. So like that is probably like a thing for sure. But
I'm just want to bring this up because I'm sure there are people out there. I mean, I'm a minority. You are too, and I'm proud, and
I don't know.
I don't let that affect me, or like I don't like to victimize. But for anyone else that is maybe in a position where they want to
yeah,
be involved and they feel like they can't,
that's true. I mean, but at the same time, like I haven't had that happen to me, so maybe that's
That's-
why. Maybe I need to experience that, then I could like have some advice on that subject. But like I haven't had that problem, so I
that's
wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I'm like, wait, why didn't this happen to me? I don't know.
Well, you've been fortunate then. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Because haven't experienced that either.
right.
Yeah.
You haven't.
No.
Yeah.
No, just besides like being a woman, but not so much of my ethnicity.
Yeah. I think maybe that's just like a San Diego thing. Everyone's kind of laid back here. It's not like LA. I don't know. I haven't thrown parties in LA, so I don't know. But in San Diego, like, I never had a problem
I know.
like that
we're
stuff.
we're pretty lucky,
Yeah,
man.
we are.
That's great.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. We were just talking about that. So what advice would you give someone that wants to follow your footsteps, maybe wants to start their own podcast or be a DJ?
I would just say, like, just don't give up. And if you actually, like, love the music, like, just keep doing it. Like, don't stop. And, like, don't worry about, like, statistics or, like, if one of your friends says, like, oh, you're not doing well, like, don't do it anymore or whatever. Like, no. Like, you keep doing it. And if you love it, like, you won't stop. I don't see myself stopping ever. I really don't.
Really? You're just gonna keep going?
Unless SoundCloud breaks, the servers break, and then I can't put them up anymore. I'll just find another server or another.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Because I feel that eventually certain apps or they fall out of trend, and then something new will come.
Yeah,
and
like
you'll just have to jump on that
a new
wagon.
platform,
Yeah, a new
some
platform.
other platform will come out or something. I don't know, but as of right now, SoundCloud's my go-to, and it really helps. A lot of people talk bad about it, but I find a lot of tracks on there, like especially
Yeah.
like underground music. Like I find like a lot of my. I don't even use Beatport really. Like I go to Beatport to buy my tracks maybe, but like even then, like I just find all my music on SoundCloud.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on San Diego's electronic music community? Maybe you can start with some positives and something that needs improvement.
Let's see. I mean, nowadays there's a lot of crews out there. It's like they're throwing parties, and it's like really versatile and like the booking wise. Like there's like one group that will do, I don't know, like some more melodic kind of like house or like techno, and then we have the more of the like the old school like Derek Carter, like Detroit house type of style people are throwing, and then maybe like the hard like techno like Berlin kind of style. Everyone's just kind of, I think that's a big plus for us in like San Diego. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and I think it's great. But at the same time, like we all go to like each other's events, so like everyone's kind of supporting each other at the same time. So that's a big plus. For like a negative,
Maybe it doesn't even have to be
And-
negative.
yeah,
Maybe something
like-
that needs improvement, or we could be doing better as a community or something.
I mean, it's kind of hard. I wouldn't say it's a negative, but like Crossed has really helped like show people like they do big bookings, so like it brings a bigger crowd out, and then there's like not just like house or techno, there's like more of like live bands that are playing too at the same time, so it brings out a different crowd. But then that crowd that's like going to the live bands, they get to go to see like the DJ sets that are like playing at the City Steps, for instance, and that's like more like heavier like techno kind of style, and then you have more of like the upbeat house music or like tech house. That's like, I think it's the Palm Stage or something, and they get to like venture out and like experience like new music. So I think that's like a bigger, like that's a plus. And then at the same time, like they'll come out of that experience and be like, oh, I want to go to like more like house and techno shows. And then there's like people like us that have like more like DIY kind of start your own like shows, like maybe Kava Lounge or Spin or something, and they're like they looking on their phone like, oh, there's a show here, like let's go there. So that helps us out at the same time. So so
but they also have like certain expectations, right?
yeah, they're like, oh, I want to, like I saw this set at Cross, and then they go there and then they're like, oh, well, it's nothing like that. It's just like speakers and like dim lights, and it's like it's like not up to their standards or something like that. But
well, they just have to be open-minded.
exactly,
right?
yeah, that's a really good point to put out there for people that are just like experience like new music or something. Just be open-minded.
Yeah,
you know,
and go for the sense of like being united by music and the community and just being there for that cause. Because I think a lot of people that maybe go to the big festivals, they go just to get messed up or they don't really care.
Well, those people, like, I feel like at the same time, those people probably won't go to those shows. It's more of the people that are, like, they come out of the experience and they really enjoyed it and they want to keep going. They're like, all right, let's see, like, what else is going on around San Diego,
you know? That's the people we want.
Yeah, that's exactly, exactly.
Awesome. So thanks so much for all your input.
Yeah.
We're about to go on the human experience section where we'll discover your deepest thoughts. And if you've been watching the show, you already know what I'm talking about.
All right.
It's like, I'm not ready.
I am not ready.
Okay. So what do you consider to be the most beautiful things in life and why?
It doesn't have to be a part of music.
Yeah, it's just about like, apart from music, yes.
Apart from music?
Yeah.
It's like the whole experience of like just being a human being. It's a wild ride. It really is. It's so crazy. And I'm only, I just turned 28, so I still have a long way to experience whether I'm going to have like a wife or like kids or just a family in general. So like I still have a lot to go, but I really embrace nature and like going out, like me and my lady go out maybe like once a year and we'll just like go to Joshua Tree and just like me and her just get like a small Airbnb and just go like get away from the city and just like
disconnect
for a second, you know? Exactly. Like we'll put on some like really good tunes and just enjoy it, like for the weekend, maybe like a night or two, not even 2 nights, maybe just like one night, and just go there and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Especially Joshua Tree. It's like one of the craziest places.
I've never been.
It's oh my gosh, it's such a vibe when going out there. It's so crazy. Like once you get into the Joshua Tree, it's like you have like this natural high. It's so weird.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love that place. But yeah, it's one of my go-tos.
Nice. I
Yeah.
love that answer. So, what obstacles are you currently trying to overcome?
I would say, I mean, I wouldn't say I've overcome it, but it's like balance, like having like a medium, which I don't want to like sound like a fool, but like I'm trying to like I feel like I'm almost like perfecting it because I do like a corporate style job, and then at the same time I'm like trying to go out to parties on the weekends, but you have to like do it in a healthy way as well. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of drinking involved and stuff like that, so like it's hard to keep that balance, but it's just you got to pace yourself. I would say pace is like key, and just keeping it in moderation.
Yeah, and we're always learning and growing, so we're bound to make mistakes throughout the rest of our lives. So
Yeah.
eventually you will find the balance.
Yeah. There's times where like I've even like gone. I probably shouldn't say this on here, but there's times where I've like gone like hungover to work.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like the worst, and like I've maybe done that once or twice, and like I learned from experience, like I'm never gonna do that ever again. Like it's the worst. There's
Yeah,
there's no point in
we
going.
gotta
doing
learn
that.
the hard way sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what have you done? Oh, have you done anything that you're proud of lately?
Yes. Corporate wise, I was a contract employee where you get hired through another company to work for this company, for instance. So like you're not like a part of like the family, but just recently I think it was like 2 months ago maybe they offered me a full-time position after like 2.5 years. So that was like I overcome that, and it was just kind of like a waiting game.
Oh.
Yeah, so it finally happened, and it was I was super stoked.
So proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So, what is the biggest change you've made in your life this year? Since the year is almost over, let's reflect.
Okay, so I think I'm just gonna take it back to where I was like talking about balance. I said, like in when I first got into the scene, like it wasn't that bad, like the first like 2 or 3 years, but then like maybe like around like 5 or 6 years, I'm like, all right, like I'm getting older too. I think that's a big factor as well, as like just getting older a little bit. But I would say like from last year to this year, I think I've like, all right, like keeping it in moderation and like pacing myself. I'm doing it a lot better now.
That's great.
So yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Adulting. Hashtag
Yeah.
adulting. How do you deal with negativity in your environment? You seem like a pretty chill guy. I don't imagine you getting
No,
that
you
easily.
literally just hit the spot right there. Like when it comes to stuff like that, I kind of just like put my horse blinders on and like keep going. Like it doesn't affect me, but the only time it'll affect me is when like it's like brought up like multiple times, and then I kind of have to put my foot down and like say something, which I'm not a big fan of like confrontation either.
Yeah, same.
So I'm like I kind of just like do my own thing, but if it's like a problem and it keeps persisting, like then it's like, all right, we
You'll
have
have to confront it.
yeah, we'll have to talk about this and like fix it. But to be honest, that rarely happens. So I just keep going, and
That's good.
yeah,
Just let it slide.
yeah, it's like basically just let it slide, let it go.
Do you have any words or a quote that you live by?
No.
Okay.
No. I kind of just like I don't know.
You just live your life.
Yeah, you just go with the flow. Like I mean, that's like definitely a positive to have some of those like in your thoughts.
Yeah.
But kind of just like go with it and just be positive.
Yeah. I agree. I'm the
You
same
know?
way. I
Just go with the flow. Like even like when that negativity just starts like hitting you, just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah, don't
I
let
love
it bother you. You know, don't make it a big deal. Like don't over exaggerate or anything. Like just try to keep it chill.
Yeah.
And like when you do that, it really does help you like balance everything out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for the advice. So now we're gonna go for the Scarlet letter. You're gonna open this envelope, and you're gonna answer the question. That's the last letter because I thought this was gonna be the final show. So I don't know what question is in there.
I like this like Game of Thrones kind of stamp that you got going on. This is dope.
Thanks. You can keep it.
Yay. I'm just gonna rip this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're about to get into a fight. What song comes on as your soundtrack? This is good.
We're talking about you being non-confrontational, and now we have a question about fighting.
I need to find the right track. You're about to get into a fight, and what song comes on as your soundtrack? I was thinking like some like heavy like techno tracks, but then at the same time, I feel like I would just be like revolting and fighting back, and I don't want to fight back. There's this track by Minilog. I'm gonna use my phone real quick.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
1, 2.
1, 2.
Let me unlock my phone first. Okay.
1 hour later.
I literally have it. Hold on.
2 hours later.
Oh yeah, it's the Minilog. It's an extra welt remix. It's called The Leopard. It's a heavy one, but like it's very soothing at the same time. It's called The Leopard, and the remix is Extra Welt.
Okay, hold on. Now I gotta play it really quick before we go on your.
You can forward it a little bit too. The beginning is kind of slow, but then it picks up and it gets super drivey. Yeah.
This is your fight song?
Yeah, it's my fight song. It's aggressive, dude. It has an aggressive bass line.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
now you know. If you hear that and you see
Get out of my
Ramin-
way.
If you hear that while Ramin's approaching you, you know you're
I'm
about
foot
to-
stomping to that track.
All right. Oh, that was awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
an
it.
Awesome guest, and for keeping up with the hard questions.
Yeah, thank
know.
you. No, I needed to be challenged a bit at times, so
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna play the rest of your mix, and we'll be back in a few minutes with a few more questions. So don't go anywhere, people. We'll be back soon. Hey, what's up? We're back. I told you it was gonna be quick. Do you have any upcoming events?
Tomorrow actually.
Oh,
Yes. Playing at Blonde Bar. It's like special guest.
oh, special.
But this is special for the people that are listening right now. I'm playing tomorrow night at Blonde Bar from 10:30 to 11:30. I'm actually going back to back with one of my homies named Mason.
Awesome.
Yes.
And any other gig after that?
Next year.
Next year. It
Yeah.
feels like a long time ago.
Next February. I already
Oh,
locked
cool.
in the date. It's gonna be a big one at Firehouse.
Nice.
Be there.
So what does the future hold for Ramin?
Let's see. Let's let it play out. I'm not gonna even answer that because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I love
don't-
that. Yeah, me too.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know how people like plan like have
Tomorrow-
like 5-year plans. Like I don't know.
Tomorrow I can be fired from my job and I just focus music. I don't know what's gonna happen.
You don't know. The future's so uncertain.
It
You
is.
Can't really say.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Any last shout outs or anything that you want your fans to know?
Just big ups to all the guys out there like Divinity, Stay Bad, the Umbrella Crew,
homies.
Music's for Lovers, Love Life. Sorry if I missed anyone, but those are the ones that are standing out to me right now. They're killing it. So
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Shout out. You're awesome.
Ashley.
And Ashley. And I'll be posting the interview and the full show on YouTube this weekend. So just stay tuned for the links. Have a good night, everyone.
Later.
And see you next Thursday for the season finale. Woo!